last game was weird because it was in adverse conditions, but Aiyuk only 3 touches. How big of an emphasis is it for you to just get him more involved?
I mean, it's kind of what the defense dictates, what the concepts dictate. He made a couple big plays, and he's had a great training camp. So, man, still all the trust in the world. It definitely wasn't anything like that. I know you guys freak out when VA only has you especially, when VA only has a certain amount of touches. But it's definitely not like we go into a game being like, okay, we're going to get the Debo the ball 8 times plus or whatever it may be. You know, Debo's obviously going to get more touches because he's in the run game. But, yeah, VA for sure. I mean, he's a huge weapon for us, and he's done a great job. And that'll start to show up more and more, promise.
When you went back and watched the tape of Sunday, what did you see?
Real similar to what I said, I think, right after the game. I missed a few early, and, I mean, whoever was ahead going into a 2-minute drive in that fourth quarter, it was going to be a tough situation for whoever was in that situation. So, for me, for us, made too many mistakes early. I missed too many early. But, yeah, I'll turn the page on that.
You're very specific with your criticisms of yourself, which is somewhat unusual. And quarterbacks usually say, I missed a couple throws I want to have back, but you're pointing to the exact plays. Where does that come from? I mean, just as far as, I assume you want to be accountable as a leader and all that?
I mean, I'm the only one that touches the ball other than the center every single play. So it's my decision most of the time where the ball goes. How it gets there, things like that, pre-snap, getting us in the right play, getting us in the right call, whether it's run game, pass game, protections, whatever it may be. So I make the most of the decisions other than the play call with Kyle. So at the end of the day, I mean, I see it as there was always pretty much a better answer. If I don't, incomplete pass, whatever, there was always, for me going back and watching the tape, there's always an option or always a better answer, unless, we do make an explosive and I do make the right play. But ball placement, little things like that could have got us, to 3rd and 2 versus 3rd and 4, little things like that. But yeah, going back and watch the tape, whether it's practice or a game, I feel like that's, like I said, where I learn so much every single rep, because little things like that can make all the difference, in the long run, especially in a game like that.
But if you ever had a coach or dad, family member say you're the quarterback, you're accountable, don't make excuses.
It's kind of common sense. Like I said, I touch the ball every single play. So what I do with it makes all the difference, short-term and long-term in a game.
This might be kind of an obvious question, but what's been the biggest change you've had to make as a runner of the football from the college level to the NFL level?
I'm not bigger, faster, and stronger than pretty much everyone else. Guys catch up a lot quicker. Guys, space is filled. Guys close a lot faster. And got to learn to protect myself, just being in a different situation, knowing how important it is for me to stay healthy.
Have you had any moments where you're like, oh wow, they really are fast? Like in the Texans game last year, I feel like there were a couple times where the safeties got there quick.
Yeah. Guys coming downhill, guys don't hesitate. That's definitely one of the biggest things for me, especially running laterally. I got to be able to protect myself.
You feel you're doing in that area in terms of protecting yourself?
Continuing to grow. There's always going to be, like I said, man, a million times, there's always going to be better decisions I can make. But on Sunday, I felt like I protected myself pretty well. Felt good for the most part. Maybe a couple I could have got down one step faster or slashing, finding an edge and getting down. But for the most part, when I'm running between the tackles and stuff like that or running on 3rd down, I'm not ever going to slide and go 4th and 2 and just give up on the play and send our defense on the field if it's a situation like that.
What's your assessment of what the Seahawks did defensively in their first game?
Fast, a little bit different schematically, but stout interior D-line. Linebackers play fast, and, Diggs is still one of the best safeties in the game.
Let me ask you, because there was a lot of instances where you were really close to the first down marker, and oftentimes you ran into Roquan Smith. Because you have to be a football player, and so you're talking about it's 3rd and 8, and you've gotten 7 yards, you're not going to slide.
Absolutely, yeah.
With Jordan Mason and Ty Davis-Price, Kyle said that they're going to have to grow up really fast. Kind of how have you seen them progress from beginning of the training camp to?
Yeah, they've grown up a lot, really fast, off the field specifically, just how they take care of their bodies. Ty around a lot, and JP just getting to know him still more and more every day. But the way those guys have matured, I've just seen off the field, honestly. They've always came to work in meetings and everything, locked in. Taking notes, whatever it may be, asking questions. But off the field, those guys have learned definitely to be pros. And from Elijah and Jeff and Juice and all the guys they've had, in and out of the room since OTAs. They've learned a lot from those guys.
Trey, how much does it help you when George Kittle's on the field in your huddle and just the vibe he brings both on the field and on the sidelines?
Totally. I mean, high energy guy. He's still around, obviously in the building and stuff, but hopefully getting him back this week. I mean, everyone can see what he does with the ball in his hands. People don't always see what he does in the run game, and just from an energy standpoint, for sure. So it'll be great to get him back if we can get him back this week.
Did you know that pass to Ray McLeod was going to be such a tight fit, and did you learn anything from that play?
Yeah, I thought going back and watching the tape, I could have thrown it on one hitch instead of two, which would have made it look a lot easier. But yeah, man, he made a great catch. It's the same throw I threw to BA, another high cross on the first drive. But Ray has done a great job, man, from just being able to trust those guys, how consistent they've been in their routes, getting to their spots, their landmarks, setting their angles, everything like that makes it easier for me.
Did you have full extra zip on that pass then?
It was actually more of a layered ball, and the ball was a little heavy at that point, but it wasn't too bad, man. Like I said, it was one of those throws that we made that I needed to make more of in the first half.
We you attempt some of the screens to Debo, and we say, "Oh, that's an easy throw. That's a layup." Is it easy like that? I mean, are there nuances there that the layman isn't seeing, and why isn't that automatic all the time for you?
I mean, we talk about it, again, not using the weather as an excuse, but in the weather, in that situation, like catch and throw are some of the hardest throws with those balls, just because you don't know what the ball is going to be like. You know, when you take a 7-step drop or a 5-step drop, you can kind of feel the ball, spin the ball, find a dry spot or find a spot where it's not, a disaster. But yeah, there were some ugly ones out there on Sunday for sure. And I'm not blaming it on the ball. Just continue to work it, be more consistent. But hopefully we're not playing in too many games in those conditions like they were in the fourth quarter.
Was it inconsistent? Like you would get a different ball in terms of wetness each time you took a snap?
We run a play, guy catches the ball, drops it in the puddle, which we've talked about a few times if we ever play in that game again, in a situation like that again. But yeah, I mean, they're rotating balls in and out, and our equipment staff does a great job of getting us the driest balls we possibly can with those 12-game balls that we get.
Did you ever try throwing with a glove on your hand?
Last year I did a few times, yeah, but I didn't this week. Didn't rep it at all. Didn't think it would get to that point. But I don't know if a glove would have saved me at all.
You may have a rain game this Sunday. So does that mean you practice getting water balls squirted on her?
We'll see.
Yeah, later on in the week, for sure we'll throw wet balls later in the week, but not something that we're a whole lot worried about. I thought the first half we had every opportunity in the world, but if we get in that, like I said, that fourth quarter situation is a little different.
Trey, does being at home provide a comfort level, or does it add more stress as you guys kind of turn the page from week one and try to have a bounce back performance?
Neither. I mean, I just turned the page on last week, this week. We're locked in, whatever it is. Obviously, travel is really the only thing. Our schedule changes a little bit with travel, but from a mental standpoint, preparation standpoint, everything's the same, just what room I do my stuff in.
After the game, that you felt great physically. How did you feel Monday morning?
Monday morning? Oh yeah, I felt fine. My neck honestly was a little sore. That was the first thing because I don't get hit at all throughout the year. So guys kind of get to build up, get their necks ready for the season. But my neck was the biggest thing. But other than that, yeah, I feel good.
All right, appreciate it, guys.